Hello, hello December, hello December. Oh my god, I have waited. Personally, nimengoja. Wa? I feel like I have lived like 3 lifetimes in just this 1 year. Nimechoka. Anyway, not complaining. Like, there's just so much that has been happening this year, and it's finally over. Oh, wow. Anyway, happy new month, guys! Happy new month. I'm recording this exactly on the 3rd of December, and so sijachelewa sana kusema happy new month. But yeah, happy new month. How are you feeling about this year in general? What? In general. Is that how we're closing the year? In general? Damn. Anyway, how have you guys been doing? How are you? How have you been since we last spoke? I have been okay. I have just been busy, but okay in general. I am well. I am thankful. Oh, I'm so grateful for what this year has been, what this week has been. I'm just happy to be where I am right now. And there's really nothing major, like nothing massive that has happened. I don't know, I'm just grateful. I'm just happy to be here. And I hope you feel the same. And if you don't, it's all right. It's all good. How are you? My DMs and my ears are always open. So hit me up. Tell me how you're doing. Yeah. Anyway, I thought let's close this here in style. So in this episode, we're gonna be talking about the things that I am unlearning. What am I choosing to leave behind in this 2024? Because okay, 2025 gotta be better. Wow, ni rock bottom iko na levels bwana. I'm not gonna lie, I think tangu 2019 nimekuwa tu nikihit a different level every time, but I'm walking into 2025 with hope, and I'm usually not this excited, honestly. To me, the new year inakuanga just another day, but I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that anymore. So I'm I'm finishing with psych and starting the next year with psych, and regardless of whatever comes my way. Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk about the things I am currently unlearning and what I'm choosing to leave behind in 2024. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so starting off strong, number one, the one thing I am unlearning personally is over explaining myself. Over explaining. It's so wow. I've been in shackles, man. I always feel the need to really go above and beyond to explain why I'm choosing to do certain things or I'm choosing not to do certain things for myself. And I think that is so, it's not okay with the person that I want to become. It's not aligning with the person that I want to become. And I think just in general, over explaining yourself is so unnecessary. But I'm not like looking at it from a point of judging. I totally understand it. I think for me, I used to see it as I still see it sometimes as it's like you're feeling some kind of guilt for choosing yourself, and so this over explaining is like a compensation. You're trying to you're trying to let the other person down slowly. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that has been it for me. And I think for me, with the moments where I was thinking about it, and I was like, why do I always feel the need to use all these many words to just say no, or I don't want to, or I don't like it, or thing just to set a boundary for myself or to speak up for myself. it's like it's a part of it is where is this other side of me where I'm feeling like, hey, maybe I don't really deserve choosing this for myself. And so that's why I have to, the over explaining is not just for the other person who's listening, it's also for myself to try and validate me, like choosing me. And yeah, I am totally unlearning that because, like I said, it is not aligning with the person I am being, the person I want to become. And yeah, so over explaining is definitely going in the discard pile because I don't want to, I don't like it. No, those are completely false statements, and we're all adults now who have things going on in our lives, and no one's gonna beat you up. Okay, hakuna mtu anakuchapa, it's fine. You choosing yourself is actually such a boss move, so give yourself some credit and pat yourself on the back for that. Moving on. Yeah, the next point is I am unlearning that there is an excuse, or oh, let me say that like this. There are certain situations or certain circumstances that can excuse disrespect. Let me say that again. I am currently unlearning that there are certain situations or certain circumstances that can excuse disrespect. Now, this one for me personally has been a very big one, and that's because I've struggled with loving myself and seeing my worth so much. I I have self-loathed so much that I used to I remember when I first started, the very first time I went to therapy, I remember speaking to the lady that I was speaking, like my therapist, and when I was talking to her about some of the trauma, what was it about? What was it about? I guess everyone has had someone say something nasty to them somewhere in primary school or high school, and it stuck with them their whole life. If you don't, honestly, you're one of the chosen few. But yeah, I feel like that's a thing that most people relate to. So it was something similar to that, like the bullying and stuff. And I remember speaking to her and saying, honestly, I didn't see, yes, I knew what they said was wrong to me because it hurt my feelings, but I felt like I deserved it. Like I felt like it was okay in those situations and circumstances. I felt like it was okay for them to say whatever they said or do whatever they did to me. And thinking about it now, I'm like, it's because I feel like it's because I really didn't value myself enough to see myself worthy of basic courtesy, bare minimum courtesy, you see. And yeah, so for me, the disrespect has been this point in disrespect has been major because I feel like I feel like I have allowed so many things and I have entertained so many things that I shouldn't have. And it's because I didn't see like I deserved to fight or stand up for myself. I justified these people's actions and for whatever reason. So also when I say like these, like the situation and circumstances, you see sometimes how you can be in an argument. Okay, let me use dating, like relationships. So with your partner, and sometimes you're in such a like a bitter like argument, and then they say some stuff that completely devalues you, or some stuff that really hurts you, and you end up later on, when you, I guess, come to a solution or a resolve or some sort, you kind of justify that. Like you see it and say, unajua alikuwa amekasirika. We all get angry. Or unajua hata mimi nilikuwa nimemwambia hivi. It's okay to hold yourself accountable, but the part that I really disagree with is that could dismiss just because they were angry. I personally have gotten to a point where I love myself so much that I don't care how how bad the situation is. I don't care what it is we're fighting over, but there's definitely certain things that you'll say and do that I will immediately check out. Like I will immediately like go. I don't care whether it's in a relationship or a friendship or we work together or whatever sort of interaction. There's so many things that I've gotten to a point where I just can't entertain, and I'm so proud of myself to have gotten this far. Honestly, it's taken a lot of work and definitely a lot of patience with myself, but we're here now. So yeah, definitely the part about allowing disrespect. Stop bargaining with disrespect. Hakuna ati alikuwa amejam, unajua hizi vitu hufanyika. Hizo vitu hufanyika, lakini it doesn't mean it's right. Just because zinafanyika imaanishi ni right. Love yourself enough to walk out. Like love yourself enough to choose you every time. And I don't mean like physically like walk out. Like in a relationship, I'm not like, okay, I understand the fact that part of like, we go through hard times together, but we always find a common ground and make up later, which is beautiful and is nice. But I just mean like, I'm not saying like, I'm not like let me I'm trying to phrase it properly. I'm not saying like ati walk out or break up with that person immediately. I'm not saying leave him. I'm just saying like, love yourself enough to set a very firm, very bold boundary around the things you value, the things that no one should mess with, the things that are important to you. That's what I mean when I say stop bargaining with disrespect. Wacha compromise on your values. Stop compromising on your principles. Stop compromising on the person you've worked so hard to become. Stop compromising on those things because they're so important. And if you lose them, you lose yourself. You completely lose yourself. And I think I'm using relationships a lot because I think this is something that happens so often in relationships. I have experienced it myself and I've watched it happen so many times in the people who are close to me. So I just don't like define your value so that define your value to yourself, define your principles to yourself, define who you are to yourself, so that when anyone comes into your life and goes below that, you instantly know. It doesn't take you time to figure out, wait, that was disrespectful. You'll instantly know that this person is carrying you less than you are, or is taking you to be less than you are. Okay. Yeah. Moving on swiftly, the next point, the other thing I am unlearning is caring what people think. Wow, this one is a big one. It's so I never know how to I don't think I have the right words to like explain this one further, but I really am really trying, and I am putting in so much effort to stop caring and worrying what other people think, especially now that I am pushing myself with like my content, my podcast and my YouTube channel. If you've not listened to the previous episode, please go listen. I have given all the details for my YouTube channel. But also I am reminding you right now, if you have not gone there to listen to the other episodes or subscribe, please do that. But yeah, so now that I'm putting myself out there, and it's uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a thing I'm used to. There's so many situations where I find myself very, even like subconsciously worrying and overthinking and over analyzing other people's opinions and comments, and really, like I'm just stressing over what other people think. Now I guess there's a how do I say there's a safe zone for caring what people think. And what I mean by the safe zone is like when you care what people think, it helps you be like, the safe zone of this is like up to the point where it helps you be considerate, accommodative of, other people's ideas and opinions, and it helps you to open yourself up to learning and growing. That's the safe zone of thinking about what people, or caring what other people think. Now the other zone, which is on the very, now the extreme, where you're over analyzing, overthinking, worrying, stressing yourself sick because of, oh my god, what are they gonna think, what are they gonna say, is this okay with them, is this blah 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 blah, all those things. Now that other extreme is where now I have a problem with, and that's what I'm trying to unlearn. That is the side of, caring what people think, that I'm trying to unlearn. That part that limits me from being myself entirely, being, going for the things that I want to. That part that limits me from speaking up for myself, for cheering, from, those things that they limit me, and I feel like they hinder me from becoming that person that I want to be. That's the part I'm trying to unlearn, and it's a process, and I don't know, actually anxiety it's so exhausting. Like being being an anxious person is so exhausting, being an overthinker, and I know so many other people relate, and it's tough being the person who will always overanalyze, over calculate situations, it's just so stressful. Your brain is like, it's torture. And so yeah, that's what I'm slowly trying to unlearn. Unfortunately, it's not like a one night, or like a one time thing. Like I say, pop, I'm over it, I'm done, I'm never going back there. It recurs. It hits you in waves. Sometimes it hits you harder than other times, but I have to constantly remind myself that, to keep cheering for myself, I guess. So yeah, caring what other people think is definitely another big one. And also, like, I think also as I've gotten older, it's also realizing that, okay, people will always have something to say, regardless of what you lose, what you what you look like. Sorry, I wanted to say, like, regardless whether you lose weight or you gain weight, whether you look tall or short, whether you wear skirts or pants, whether you whatever hair, like whatever it is you do, someone out there, someone somehow has an opinion over it. They feel like, they can say something about it, and you have no control over that. You're not even meant to control that. It's none of your business. That's the other thing. I keep reminding myself, what other people think about me is none of my business. Yeah, so that's the other thing I'm unlearning. Okay, so the next one is, I am unlearning that I am responsible or needed to fix everyone that comes into my life. I must say that one more time. I am unlearning that I am responsible or needed to fix everyone that comes into my life. Hey, this one, I feel like I've been saying this is a big one at every point. They're all big ones. It's fine. We can have more than one big one. Okay, anyway. So this one is for the Madame Bob the Builders, the Handy Mannies. I don't know if you guys know that cartoon. I used to watch it when I was in primary school. It used to be on Disney Junior. It's called Handy Manny. I don't know if it's just this man, the money, the guy who walks around with a bag of tools and is like the hero of the town because he fixes everything. Like, anyway, point is, Madam Bob the Builders, Mr. Handymanis, you guys need to put your tools down. It's about time to put your tools down and love yourself a little bit more. It's okay, you've been the hero in so many people's lives. It's fine. It's a good thing. You've in some situations you felt fulfilled and satisfied and you're okay with it. You cannot complain or say that someone has forced you, but I'm just saying that it's about time to start pouring into your own cup as well, and pouring just as much or a little bit more, actually pouring in your cup a little bit more than you're pouring into others. And this one again has is a big one. But yeah, this has been, I felt like, I don't know, I didn't understand the concept of it's okay for people to come into your life. I think I've actually done an episode about this. I don't know if I posted it. Maybe I didn't post it. But anyway, it's the system is glitching. Wow, the connection really disconnect kidogo. Anyway, I'm back. Let me nime reset. I'm back. I don't know where the words were going. What? Anyway, I was going to say I didn't understand that concept of like it's okay for people to just come into your life for a certain period of time and go. I always felt like I needed to hold on to every single person, every single thing that came into my life. I didn't know how to let go. And I didn't think it was, for me, it was not, I had not clocked that it's normal, it's okay. Like, not everyone who comes into your life is meant to be there till the end. And that is okay. It doesn't have to mean that they are terrible people or you're a bad person. It's just, it's okay for it to be that way. And so the reason why I mention this is because that need of like holding on, like keeping things so close, like gathering so many, I can only hold so many things, but I was always like hoarding people, hoarding things. And I always felt the need to just be that quote unquote savior, that hero, always that person. Let me tell you, one very toxic trait I learned about myself was that for me, to be loved was to be needed. Like, the way I understood being loved and being sure, like being loved, if for me to know that someone loves me is if they constantly needed me and they depended on me. And if you're not seeing why this is toxic, you probably should consider talking to a professional. Ama unihit hapo kwa DMs nikuchanue. We unpack a few things. But anyway, so for me, that was my definition of being loved. And it's so toxic because even in the points, in the moments where I could not even give myself enough, I just wanted to know that someone is depending on me, that this particular person is completely dependent on me, and that they need me to come through for them. That it is okay if I constantly break myself, if I constantly tire myself, if I constantly deplete myself to fill their cup. That is love. So, and I was so, like, I was deep in the shackles of that. Like, I did not, and I'm still unlearning it. I still catch myself sometimes and I'm like, well, no, you don't need to go that far. And it's not being selfish or not caring or inconsiderate. It's just like, it's checking it, like it's caring for yourself. I'm not discouraging you from being that amazing friend, amazing partner, amazing I don't know if I have any parents in my audience, but amazing parent, in case you're listening, I'm not pulling you, I'm not encouraging you to not be that person. I'm just saying, like, it is important to pour into yourself just as much as you pour into others. And I think one of my biggest role models for this has been my mom. And I just want to give her flowers. I don't even think she listens to my episodes, but I'm just gonna say this. My mom and I, my relationship with my parents has been rocky and bumpy, and it's okay, life happens, things happen, and it's fine. But one thing about my mom is I've grown up seeing her choose herself. Like my mother is the oldest daughter in her family, and I've also watched her break her back countlessly for her family and the people she loves. But I think my mom, even though that's the life she lived, she always encouraged me to, like, choose myself. And when it came to matters that were about me, my mom is not the type of person kuniambia, vumilia tu, fanya tu hivi. She's like, you don't want to, don't do it. She constantly encouraged me to just, it's okay to choose yourself. And even though you see when you're a child, you learn so many things from the people raising you, your parents, your guardians, whoever. You pick up so many things from them, and it's not only the things that they, like, sit you down and teach you, like, formally. You also very subconsciously pick up on the things that you see them do and how you see them react. You subconsciously pick up on those things. And so I think for me, that, like, going above and beyond for others, I naturally picked that from my mom. But also it's really helped the fact that I always had her. I had her to remind me to fill my cup. She's always been that person. Like, she's always reminded me to fill my cup. And now that I'm older, like, now that I'm not so dependent on her, it's like she how do I say it? She's always like, sometimes I may call her, or, like, I may reach out to her and she's not available. She's like, I just need to sleep. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that we've come to a point where me and her, we've come to a point where we're so okay with each of us choosing ourselves. Like, it doesn't come across like, oh, unakuwa selfish. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I hope I have made sense. But yeah, I think having my mom has really helped with that. But yeah, anyway, let me come back to the point that you are not responsible to be the savior or the hero, the Superman in everyone's life. Superman at some point dies, and the people find a way to live with. Okay, this just took a dark turn. I don't know why I felt the need to mention that Superman dies. But I'm just trying to say, like, you need to okay. Maneno. I don't know what is happening today. And don't know what is happening today. The words are just running from my mind. But anyway, you get the point. I think the point of Superman dying is, I also used to feel like the way I told you guys, like, my definition of being loved was to be needed, and someone, like, literally being a leech on me. The leech, the thing, the parasite that, like, sucks your blood. Leeching, having people leech on me. That was how I defined, these people love me, these people need me, they care, these people love me because they are dependent on me. And with that came so much anxiety of, like, guys, siko hapo. On those days that I was not able to show up, I would have so much anxiety of being like, I'm not there. How are they getting through? How are they getting by without me? And it's not even from a point of self importance, like puffing up my chest and being like, yeah, I am all they need. It's not, it's the complete opposite. I was just like, in the moments where I didn't have anyone constantly needing me, I felt worthless. I didn't feel like I had value in anyone's life. So that even when the times where I could not come through, nilikuwa constantly like anxious. I'm like, and I thought it was, I'm anxious for the other person, like trying to wonder, oh my God, how are they getting by or anything. I think I'm realizing that I was more anxious for myself. I'm like, what? Na haja nitafuta? Na kwani leo hahitaji this and this? Even if I'm not in a place to give or to offer whatever they need, I just wanted to know that they needed me. Okay, nime talk so much on this point, but I hope you get the main idea. Like, I am unlearning that I really don't have to be that savior for everyone. And before I even finish, before I move on from this point, I saw this video about, a bit of background info. I'm more spiritual than religious. I'm more spiritual than religious. So I'm so into these things about energies and blah blah blah. Anyway, that's not even the point. So I was watching this video where this lady was saying, so the reason why I'm mentioning like my spirituality is because her content is about your spiritual like awakening and things like that. Anyway, so she says that you people who have this like savior complex, or the Bob the Builders and all those things, you need to start minding your business. Like, you really need to mind your business. You really need to just focus on you, and not in a selfish way, but you really need to mind your business. And so she continues and she explains it like, she says, you're going about your life, you meet this one person who has all these things going on for them, and you instantly just want to get yourself involved. Oh, I can help with this. Oh, I can do this. I can do. It's nice to be kind and generous, but the point she was trying to say is that if it's part of your, I guess, calling. I don't want to sound like weird using all these big words, but like, I hope you get what I mean. She says, if it is part of your purpose, like part of your destiny, to come through, to be that quote unquote hero for this person, you'll know it, and it will come out so naturally. And you won't even have to strain for it. Things will just align. But now the other side of this is that when you constantly keep trying to push yourself into people's issues and trying to save and make things better for them. Number one, sometimes people go through things as they're dealing with their karma. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people deserve the suffering they're going through, blah blah blah. I'm just saying that, I'm quoting. I am just saying what I understood from this video that I was watching. She was saying sometimes people may be dealing with their karma, and maybe even like, like you're coming in with your with your tools and your hammers and your screwdrivers, trying to fix and patch up everything. You're interfering with this person's destiny, and it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, I hope I'm not sounding cringe, or I hope I've not lost you. I hope you still like following. Or the other thing is, maybe you see how people say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You go through certain things in life that really, really bring out that part of you that you never knew. They bring out a certain potential in you that you never knew was there. And so sometimes these people, like the person you're meeting who has all these things going on for them, maybe they're in that moment to learn from it. And you, with your tools and your kierere, you're coming, trying to patch up everything. So that's the point she was trying to say. She was like, mind your business. If you are called to be the quote unquote hero or savior or, Bob the Builder of a person, you will know, you will feel it, and things will just flow naturally. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense, but my main point is pour into yourself a lot more than you do into others, not in a selfish and self-centered way, but in a I love myself. I empathize and I sympathize with person A, B, and C that are going through this and this, but I also have needs that should be met. Okay, let's move on. Okay, last but not least, I am unlearning hyper independence. Oof, I am unlearning hyper independence. Now, let me explain this. So I don't even know where to start. Like, this one is deep. This is the big one. This is the biggest one of the big ones. this is this is the biggest one of the big ones. Anyway, I'm unlearning hyper independence. What I mean by this is I'm allowing myself to ask for help. I'm allowing myself to be loved. I am allowing myself to open myself up to people. Like I'm letting people in. I'm opening myself up to things and experiences that I'm opening myself up to soft life, basically. To put it simply and plainly, like I'm allowing myself to experience the softness of life. I am embracing my femininity more. Like for a very long time, I have been, and it's this one runs deep, and I think this is a part of me that will stick with me for forever. Honestly, I feel like the hyper independence will always be a part of me, but I feel like it gets toxic, or it stops working for me when I get to points where I cannot allow myself to recognize, when I get to moments where I need help, like I need another person to come through for me. And I realized this a lot when I moved out of my parents' house. Because now I was like properly alone. Like I was properly like proper alone. I had to figure out so many things on my own, and it's I think I'm going to admit that I underestimated the whole moving and starting afresh on your own. I completely underestimated it. And it's not just actually, this has nothing to do with the financial part of it. It's more the emotional part. It took such a big toll on me. Maybe in a later episode I'll be able to go over the whole process of moving. I would love to do that. Let me know if you're also interested in that, and we'll get to that. But yeah, so the whole moving thing was so, it hit me proper emotionally, and it took me, and I'm still adjusting. Like if you have listened to my, wait, I don't know if I told you. Anyway, I don't know, I can't remember if I told you, but like in I have recently just moved to a new place, and there's so much that, and I guess it's different for everyone, to be honest, but for me, I have been feeling so many things. This last few months have been so crazy, such a roller coaster for me, and it took me such a long time to actually admit that, I need help. Like I had to completely like crash, like I burnt out like properly, to get to a point where I was like, wow, if I don't ask for help, I don't know if I'll come out of this. Like if I don't tell anyone that what I'm feeling and what I'm going through, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll come out of this okay. And you shouldn't allow yourself to get to those points. You need people. It's so amazing to have a community, to have a group of friends, to have something like just somewhere to rest your head, metaphorically speaking. It's Yeah, so that's what I mean when I say I am unlearning hyper independence. I have leaned so much on that masculine side of me. I take care of myself, I got everything, and I still struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle with it a lot. I realized the other time, a while ago, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I realized anytime I met with an issue, because ever since I was a kid, ever since as far as I can remember, I have always had to figure out shit for myself. So even now, as I'm older and the shit is bigger, like you deal with shit that is matters of literal life and death. I'm just like, when I face a problem, the first thought that comes to my mind is never oh, who can I call, who can I talk to. It's always, what can I do, like what is within my power and within my reach. And that served me for a while. I needed to be that person for a certain period of time, and that was the me that hyper independence helped me through my survival days when I needed to be in survival mode, and that's okay. But now, and I'm so grateful, guys. I don't know if I mentioned this, but mpaka nasikia macho zinaanza kusweat kuna get joto huko, what na get emotional. But anyway, I don't know if I told you guys, but like this, I have not experienced a period in my life that has had more calmness and serenity than I am in right now. Like this, my life is so peaceful right now. Wow. Who is cutting onions? Wow. Oh, not the time for sweating eyes. Yeah, my life has been so peaceful and calm, to a point where I have days where I just sit and I'm like, am I in a fucking dream? Like, how did we get here? And I'm so grateful. Don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful, but I'm in such calmness. And that's now that I'm in this part of my life, I'm like, we no longer need that version of me that pulled me through survival mode. She was amazing. She did what she had to do. Wow, she got shit done, and we're so proud of her. But I'm releasing her now. And all these things that I have learned, that I am unlearning, that I've talked to you guys that I'm unlearning, these are all parts of me that I had to acquire. These are all the gears that I had to wear through my survival mode, and then now they have to come off and we wear different ones, right? So yeah, I am unlearning hyper independence. I am allowing myself to ask for help. I'm allowing myself to say, hey, I actually don't know what to do here. I am allowing myself to just say, hey, I'm tired, can you do this for me? Like, because, and also it's because, and I'm so grateful for this, because I'm so grateful for that. Okay, I'm so sorry, my the words, I don't know. Anyway, I'm so grateful for this, but I also, right now in my life, I'm surrounded by such amazing people. I have such an amazing like I have amazing people around me who don't make me like feel scared to ask for help. They accommodate that, they encourage it actually, and I'm so grateful for that. So I'm just letting you know that honestly, when you get to that point where you no longer need your survival mode version, you'll know when you need to start shedding those layers. And in those moments, it's scary because these parts of yourself that you're trying to shed, you've known these parts for so long, so they've become comfortable. Even if you didn't like them, they became comfortable for you. And so change is scary. Change can is very uncomfortable, but it is very necessary. Okay, I read something today that's saying transformation is very natural and necessary. Everything in nature goes through some sort of transformation or change, and you are no exception. Nietzsche, I am not an exception to that process. So yeah, I am unlearning hyper independence. And on the point of hyper independence as well, I think this quote unquote strong independent woman has been so praised and hailed, like HAILED, hailed in society, that and that's it's not I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I have so much respect for all those women all the women who have had to go through so much shit on their own because of their circumstances. But for me, I have realized that it's while society is praising this strong independent woman, on the other side it has been shaming that the dependent feminine, I don't know if that makes sense. It has been shaming the dependent woman who is like, I'm okay with staying at home and being a homemaker. I'm okay with depending on a man to provide. I'm okay with depending on a man to do certain duties around the house. And I think there has been such an imbalance, and I disagree with that imbalance. Obviously, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't judge or disregard either. The strong independent woman and the dependent woman they have their value. They are both important in their own ways, and they have their worth is not attached to the people around them. That's just what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't see one as less than the other or one as more than the other. I'm just pointing out that I feel like this hyper independence, this independent woman thing, and especially after moving out, this Black independent woman is such a big thing. And I'm not trying to demean it, don't get me wrong. I'm not demeaning it. I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that like society really pushes this idea to us that for some people like me, it makes you feel like that is the ultimate goal, to be at a point in your life where you feel like you quote unquote believe you don't need anyone else. And I think that is toxic. Just my opinion, honestly. But yeah, I think that is toxic because also it's not true. You need people emotionally. You need people, especially as a woman. Especially as a human, honestly. It doesn't even matter, but you need people. You need people, and that's just what I'm trying to say. I think I was just trying to point out that the idea of hyper independence, or just being your own type of person, like without needing people, has been so drilled into our brains that it's accepting that, like, owning our femininity and accepting it and enjoying it and experience it in its experiencing it in its entirety has become such a foreign thing. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that I am unlearning hyperindependence because it's no longer serving me, and there needs to be a balance between, it's okay, God, it's so nice to allow yourself to be loved and to be taken care of, and to know that you can say that I need help and help will be offered to you. Like, it's so nice to be in those moments in your life. So also I realized I was pushing so many people away. I pushed so many people away because of this like hyper independence mentality. And so I guess everything is a work in progress. And like I said, unlearning, I have not unlearned. It's a whole process. All these things, I wish I could just say, after this episode, we've closed that chapter and I'll never go back to them. I wish it was that easy, but unfortunately it's not. It's a whole damn process. And I guess also I try to also remind myself that when you, like, for me, the hardest thing to say has been, I need help. It has been my whole life, it's been so difficult for me to actually voice or express that I need help. So, and not every time that you need help, you're met with the help that you need, or you're met with help that is comforting or actually helpful. And that can be very discouraging, especially for someone who has built such high walls around them. But I guess I'm just, I try to remind myself that, what, it's okay. Take pride in the fact that you realized you are at a point where you could no longer do this on your own, and you reached out, and give yourself credit for that. Or you don't even have to wait till you're at a point where you can't do it anymore. Just, it's okay. Yes, if you have someone to do that. I actually also learned that if someone genuinely loves you, if your friend, your partner, your employer, employer and love is a bit of a stretch, but I'm just trying to say, if they genuinely care about you, they're very happy to come through for you. And that's the other thing that I'm really trying to learn, that you're not always stressing people, or you don't I'm trying to, like, for me, of course I have not been asking for help because I feel like nasumbua mtu, like I'm bothering them, I'm being a burden, and being, they have better things to do. That's how I've been thinking about it, and that's what has been stopping me from asking for help. But now I'm saying that, like, I'm learning that actually people who genuinely care about you, they actually enjoy and love coming through for you. So if you have those people around you, please, it creates actually a stronger bond between you guys. So it's okay to need help, and it doesn't make you less of a person. That's the other thing. You don't lose your value just from getting someone else to help you do something. Okay, enough about that. But anyway, I think that will be it for for this episode. You see what I meant by saying this is the biggest one of the big ones. Like, the hyper independence has gone deep, and I think I still have so much more to say about it. But anyway, we'll do that in case we do a part 2 of unlearning. We'll talk about it more. But that has been all for this episode. I have definitely enjoyed going over this list with you guys. It's been reflective. I've looked back at so many parts of my life, and it has helped me look forward as well, like who I'm becoming. It has also helped me recognize the growth that I have achieved, which is so nice. Like, I'm at a point where I can now say, I'm leaving the disrespect, I'm leaving the this and that, I'm leaving A, B, C, and D. Like, that is a very big, I'm at a different level of self-awareness, and I love that for me. So yeah, what are you unlearning? Let me know. Did you hear something that you related with? And yeah, let me know what you think. This episode will be posted on Spotify and YouTube as well. For now it's just available on those two platforms. But yeah, please like, share, comments, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please share these episodes with others. Help me grow my following. I would really, really appreciate that. Yeah, nimesema najitolea this time. I'm really putting in the work, and therefore I would really appreciate if you would push me up kidogo. Share this episode with people who you think would enjoy. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. I would be very grateful. And anyway, I can keep talking. Yummy. I can keep going and going and going. But we've come to the end of this episode. Remember to always be kind, loving, and gentle to yourself, because if you don't, no one will.